Orientation is locked. Okay, we'll be up and down this time. That's fine. Let me go turn it on over here. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go over my zipper for anybody who wants to watch. Let's see, I will need a screwdriver. So, here's one right here. Now, we had a few people trying to put the facings together instead of shoulder to shoulder, like center back to front shoulder. So make sure the shoulder on the back part is the one with that funny shape. Yours look good, Annie. I see the funny shape. Yeah. The other thing, let's see. Our side bust darts. You do have a lot of notches over here on the side, yes. But there's one up here that's like for a 1/2 of an inch seam allowance at the armhole, and then the two dart notches are more in the middle. So don't accidentally put your dart like up here right at the armhole edge. Make sure it ends up looking like it's in the middle. And your rubric will say things like the back dart length should be 3 inches. And that's like 3 inches now that it's sewn into the shoulder seam. So it really, if you're measuring before you close up your shoulder seam, it would be 3 1/2. So, yeah. That could be confusing, so hopefully now it's less. Okay, everything is corrected on my neckline. I've got all my, I'm understitched and everything's open. And so I'm ready to put in my zipper now. I have 3/4 of an inch seam allowance on the back for my zipper. And I have a notch midway down where my zipper will stop. So I'm gonna just do regular stitch length with back stitching from the bottom up to the notch. And then from the notch up, I basted. Remember doing a lap zipper way back? So 5 for a stitch length. Now, it's a good thing we did those lap zippers that were just straight into fabric without all this spacing the first time, because now we do have the obstacle of this stuff up top. And so I'm just, I pin it as best I can, and I just know that I'm not gonna quite get all the way up there with my basting. And that's okay. Maybe one more pin up here. And we will baste as far as we can. I always like to check just to make sure I didn't accidentally catch something. Since it's just basting, it's easy enough to pull out a stitch or two up there if I did. All right, now we press open. Do a double check that you know, everything is matching across the top, that we're level here. You know, you don't want to somehow all of a sudden have the right facing, you know, lower than the left or vice versa. So we look pretty good there. Time to switch feet. I'll do the same thing next week for the sleeve. There is an older video of me doing the sleeve that's worth watching ahead of time. Go to the iron to do a proper press. And then, if we remember from our lap zippers, we're gonna baste this side first. The underlap side is the one that gets basted. So here I am on the underlap side, lining my teeth up to that center back basted bit. And when we were just doing our first samples, we didn't care too terribly much about sort of the height of the top stuff. But now that comes into play. You want it to be about 1/8 of an inch-ish, between 1/8 and 1/4 below the finished top edge there. And remember, we fold this excess tape down. You don't trim it because it'll fray. So I'm positioned pretty good there. Not really time to worry about the excess at the moment. Just doing a baste. So, and we'll go right down the middle of the seam or the zipper tape from the notch up. Yeah, I came in threaded. It's my day to have issues. Take two. So when we get up here to the top, again, we go like as far as we can. And see, I accidentally caught, so I went a little too far, but it's easy enough to just undo those basting stitches. Okay, because you don't want to see any evidence of what you've just done from the right side of your garment. It should still just look plain. Then we'll switch our stitch length back to normal. We can close our zipper. This is where we press to get the fabric pretty close to the teeth there. So you're not doing that. You're not pulling the center back away from the teeth. You're kind of pushing it towards. We're gonna do that edge stitch. I'm just gonna start up here at my notch. So, you know, my zipper's a little long, but that's okay. Regular stitch, yes. So now we can back stitch and get it a little positioned up top here. And ideally, the foot just travels between the teeth and the center back seam. We can even kind of get that guy away. There we are. Okay, we should still see no evidence of what we've done from the right side. Yay. And all that's left is to do this final stitch here. Now, eventually, hopefully, you could even get good enough when these stitches also catch the facings. Wouldn't that be lovely? But I don't worry about that. I just come back and, you know, in a real garment, I tack them down by hand or something. But you may see that in ready to wear, where they got the process down pat and can even catch the facings down. So see, this is why it's nice to not have the side seams closed up yet. I can still get in here. And I might want to kind of secure the very top because it isn't all the way basted together, because I don't want that to slip over. And now we're just gonna do our lap stitch. We want to be on top of the zipper tape and within the seam allowance, so you can kind of feel, check, all that stuff. And obviously we want to stay straight, parallel. Where's my notch? I can tell, I'm looking to see where the stitch length changes on my seam there, because my zipper stop's a little low. But I could have also marked that with a pin or something. But it's right about there. So either do a 90-degree, you know, L, or I kind of prefer doing an angle because then it doesn't have to be a perfect 90 degrees. Make sure that you don't go past that center seam, that like you go to it but not past it. Trim away all your threads. There we go. Okay. I think it's time to remove some basting. And there we go. Lap zipper, that's what we want. We want it to only show the one stitching. Our underlap is good. And then see, all that can just get folded down. Yay! Cut. Thank you.